Welcome, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Very well,
Yes.
very well, very well. And you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Before we get into your new album, I wanted to back up a little bit because you guys came together in 2009 after bands you previously were in fell apart. How did you guys find each other?
I guess music's really kind of incestuous in a way. Everyone knows everyone. It's always the way. So my old band used to play a lot with Dave and Mo and Bush's old band in and around Cambridge. And singer from my band was emigrating to New Zealand. So we had our last show, so we asked them to support us that night, because we've been mates for a long time. And which they did. And at the end of the night, I remember literally walking off stage thinking, I haven't got a band anymore, what am I going to do? And about 3 minutes later, literally 3 minutes later, Dave asked me if we wanted to start something and do something different. So yeah, I was without a band for about 3 minutes, which was handy. So yeah.
And Ross, for you it's a little bit different because they were already in a band before you did.
Yeah.
How did they find you?
How did you find me? How do you find me?
We just sent up a flare and we just saw it. It's like a bat sign. No,
we basically, our manager is a close friend of mine as well. Before he was my manager, he's my friend. And these guys needed another guitarist before a tour, and I think it was like 3 days or something. He called me up and was like, "Do you want to go on tour next week?" I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah. But yeah, so I jumped in sort of head first really, and it was just non-stop from day one, just tour after tour and straight into writing and stuff. And luckily, the guys welcomed me with open arms, and it seemed to gel straight away, I think. And it's a lovely little match.
But it's really interesting because I can imagine you guys already had some kind of sound, but I also read somewhere that you had a big contribution to writing lyrics for the new album.
Writing lyrics?
Yeah.
No, didn't write any lyrics. Dave does all the lyrics. But yeah, I mean, the guys, they had their sound that everyone knew. I came in and just fitted in. Haven't changed much. We just, it was just a natural thing, wasn't it? And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it just clicked.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
From day one, I mean, it's a really difficult thing. I think, like you said, when you've got guys who've been in a band for a long time and know each other really well, for someone else to kind of try and come into that environment, even if you get on really well, it's such a weird, relationship in a way that it's very difficult for someone to kind of get in and work in that environment. And from the second we met Ross, I mean, I'll say it with him sitting here, but I'd say it any time, it was just, that was it. We'd thought about the guitarist before, we tried some other people and it just never worked. And then, we met this handsome Davil and that was it.
But why did you want another guitarist?
To be honest, I mean, the sound that we have, and we'd always kind of worked and always written with playing live in mind and recorded with live in mind so we could replicate what we did, but we wanted to do more. We wanted to make things bigger and kind of more epic, and also, for people that have been writing together for a long time, it's great to have someone else. I mean, we were all fans of what Ross was doing before as well. Ross had another band that he was in. We were all fans of what he did there as well, so it just seemed like an obvious fit even before we met him, and consequently it was.
And you just said something about that Dave writes most of the lyrics. Would you say that there are really strict band roles in the band?
Yeah, I mean, Dave writes all the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, no one else contributes to lyrics, so that's Dave's thing. We all write music, everyone writes. Someone's being stapled to death out there. So yeah, everyone writes music, but Dave does all the lyrics and the melody, that's Dave's bit, so yeah.
And you guys just always agree, it's just like...
It's just his role. It hasn't really been discussed, is it? It's like, he's the singer. He's the voice of the band. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when you've got someone, as gifted as he is, there'd be no reason and no way I'd ever question, or we'd ever question what Dave does. I mean, everything he writes blows me away. Yeah. Everything, and to be able to write that honestly is a real gift. I think that's an extremely difficult thing to do. So many, singers or bands write about whatever they're writing about, but will kind of hide it in some way. They'll veil it in some way. Dave, especially on the new record, is so honest that it's uncomfortable at times, which is brilliant.
Yeah. Do you guys think that is the thing that makes you as a band so unique?
it's definitely part of it. I think just as a band, that's what we try to do. Just be honest and write from the heart, whether it's music or lyrics, the whole song. And that's I think that's what people connect to, and you can really see it. When we play live, passion in people's faces when they're singing the words back to Dave is it's something every night it blows you away. It's like it really does mean a lot to people. So, I think so.
After thousands of shows, it still does the same to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I sing every word to every song, and I'm not the singer of the band. That's Dave's job, and that's because of him and what he's singing. I can't help but be moved by it.
Yeah. And Black Mire was the first single you guys released from your new album. Why that song?
I think we wanted to. It was a bit of a statement of intent for the record, really. I think the record is probably darker, more mature than the first record. And it was a bit of a statement of intent. We had an interesting 18 months in the music industry, is how I'll phrase it, before this record. So it was a bit of a statement of intent for where we're going and what we're doing, but also what had happened. So yeah.
But you had kind of like a hectic time before your new album because everyone was so excited about you as a band. Did you have time to how did you find the time to make new music?
There was a lot of time before the actual first album came out from when it was recorded to when it was released, so the guys had a bit of a head start even before I joined, so you had quite a few ideas knocking around, almost some fully formed songs, didn't you?
Yeah, a lot of it, like Ross said, we did things quite differently from a lot of bands in the fact that we recorded the first record ourselves, we paid for it, we did it all before we had a label involved.
Was that a conscious choice? Yeah,
absolutely. We were going to, not in a kind of grand plan, but we had these songs, we wanted to record them, we managed to get the money together from family and friends, and we went and recorded it, and then we were lucky enough that our record label came along and subsequent record labels came along and wanted to put that record out, but because of that, like Ross said, there was quite a big gap in between when the writing of that record was done to when it came out. So, we never stopped writing, and we never stopped then. So, like Ross said, there's a lot of ideas from that period on until the new record came out that have been formed. And to be honest, that record's probably been written and scrapped about 13 times. We write so many songs, we're our own biggest critics, that we'll just dump them and leave them. I think it's just not good enough.
We were writing right up to the last minute, basically. Yeah. And, a couple of songs came together, a couple of weeks before we went into the studio, and we had a lot of songs that didn't make the record.
Yeah, I don't remember who said it, but I heard "Jaws of Hell" was one of the songs that. Could you tell?
Yeah, I think it was probably me. Yeah, yeah, that song.
Nemesis for ages.
Yeah, we were in the bus the other day, and it made me laugh because I showed Ross. I was just on shuffle on my phone, and on my phone device, not anything being like, came up the original riff for that song that was written on an acoustic guitar in my bedroom. And it was like 2010
Sounds
or something.
Like some sort of country music jam.
Yeah, and that song just beat the hell out of me for 2 years, and all of us, because we knew it could be really good, and it wasn't really good for a long time. And we tried everything. We tried every different way. And honestly, we'd play it, and then we'd just dump it and leave it for 6 months, and then forget about it. And then go, oh, what about that? And bring it back and try again. And we eventually got it where we wanted it. And actually, because of that, it's probably my favourite song on there. So.
Yeah, cool. And then you also said that the whole album was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Why?
Basically, yeah, as Mark said, we had an interesting lead up with, in the industry with labels and things like that. So we didn't really know where we stood for quite a long time. But that didn't stop us really concentrating on the writing. Whatever happened, we knew we wanted to make a record and get it out, sooner rather than later. But yeah, I mean, that's the main thing really, just not knowing where we stood for a long time. And it definitely had an effect on us. It was quite stressful. We didn't even know how it would come out at one point.
If it would come out.
If it would come out, yeah. But we knew we just had to keep writing, keep ploughing on. And it worked out for the best. Yeah. We're in a really good position now. I'm really happy with how it came out, and our team behind us is amazing.
And would you say that now that you're signed to a label, that it it made it different to create the album?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the guys we were with before on a day-to-day level were fantastic. I can't knock them for that at all. You know, and without their support, we wouldn't be here now. However, the new record, I'm sure, would have sounded very different. With our label now, Hassel, and the team that we have in Cobalt, and all the people that look after us, we have complete creative control. No one has ever said to us, well, perhaps we should do this, perhaps we should do that, or, you know, there's none of that. We write what we want to write and we record what we want to record. And the only people involved in making any changes or decisions on that were us and the producer, you know. And that was it. And to have that kind of freedom and an amazing team of people behind us supporting that is incredible. I mean, you know, there's not too many labels out there who'd happily let you put out a 6 or 7 minute long single, you know. So, yeah, we're pretty lucky.